Welcome, Mr. Keshe. We are happy to be your host.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. As I always say, when we come to the Dutch part, we are home. We are the Dutch, what we call stichting. Thank you very much for having us. And I see on your list, I've seen a lot before in the other teachings of what we call groups that we have made some presentations in the past few days. What I would like to do, you most probably know everything. If you have any questions or you have anything you want to be cleared about Monday and the flight systems, we are here to what we call discuss and see what we can extend to the knowledge.
Mr. Keshe heeft iedereen opgeroepen om vragen te stellen en hij heeft een bijzondere connectie met Nederland. De stichting is gevestigd in Nederland, zoals jullie misschien weten. En zijn vader werkte voor Philips Nederland. Dus hij heeft een bijzondere connectie. Ook met Eindhoven, met Evolution in Eindhoven.
And so we don't need such a huge plasma of millions of kilometers. We need
sorry. Sorry. That was the workshop. But I see a question from Alfonso Leivas in the chat. Hello, Mr. Keshe. Alfonso Leivas from Uruguay. I have been studying universal emergency for 7 years. I am a Gnostic. I want my Gnostic brothers to I don't understand that word. The universal energy of the Keshe Foundation. When would you come to visit us? In eventual peace.
Where?
So that was what he wrote. He may be able to talk himself, or that someone can translate what he wants to say, what he wants to ask.
Is he there? Does he speak English?
Spanish.
Don't speak English. I'm speaking Spanish.
Okay. Is someone can you translate to Spanish?
I will try.
Okay. Thank you.
Alfonso, por favor, ¿puede preguntar a Mr. Keshe?
Sí. Tengo tanta pregunta para hacerle a Mr. Keshe.
I have a lot of questions in my head.
La que hiciste, Alfonso, porque no se entiende. Es la que hiciste, porque no se entiende.
Claro. La pregunta que hice. ¿Cómo podemos hacer? Ya sé que tenemos que hacerlo conscientemente. ¿Cómo podemos hacer para que se difunda mucho más la energía del plasma para esta zona del mundo? Gracias.
The question is how to utilize this plasma energy in all the world.
Our technology is what?
I'm sorry, this is Raquel Velasco from Mexico, and he said that how we can do to concentrate the plasma in this zone of the world. He is in Uruguay.
We teach in every direction and every aspect of the use of technology. You have to decide which part suits you for what purpose. If you're in agriculture, if you are in medicine, if you're in energy, and you decide what you do and how we can use it. Yes.
Traduction, please.
Ok, dice el señor Keshe que él ha enseñado todas las formas posibles de la utilización de la energía y que tú decides si en agricultura o en medicina o en qué lugar pues quieres utilizarla. Go ahead.
Thank you.
You have to decide in which aspect of your expertise or the need of your society or community is.
Tú
Yes.
decides qué expertise quieres utilizarla, en qué área, en qué te quieres especializar para ayudar a la comunidad.
Quiero ayudar a la Fundación Keshe en agricultura, ya lo estoy haciendo, y lo quiero expandir mucho más. Y estoy a las órdenes de la Fundación para hacer todo tipo de cosas, porque ya apliqué muchas formas del tipo de gas, de plasma y todo, hay mucha gente, muchas plantas, es impresionante. Y siento la energía. Gracias.
He says that he is using the plasma for agriculture, and he spread the technology around him, and it's amazing the results. He said, "Thank you."
Thank you very much. Are there any other questions?
Odd has a question, and he asks you if the unit has a similar effect like then the 129 Tesla in 2014 that Odd was part of.
What do you mean?
Odd, can you talk to Mr. Keshe yourself?
Yes, I can do that. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you know, you asked in 2014 to me to make a wish. And, you know, I told many times I made the wish that the star formation at the view screen would become stronger. Well, it happened, but to me happens another thing. You know, I lost my daughter in 1987, and then at that moment she was there with me. So it's like you describe in the unit, when you want to see your relatives, it can. And I can say I was clearly awake at that time, but it happened to me. It's very emotional. And you know, nowadays when my spouse passed away, I have these same things happening to me, and in a way, my sunshine went away and I can't relate anymore to the others of the universe. So, well, you know what happens to me. You were there. So my question is, does the unit do the same? That's what did happen to me in 2014. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry to bring you the emotions back this way. These systems are set according to the desire of what you want to achieve. They are not set by us, as always said in all the presentation in the past few days. You are the captain. You decide. And if we create an environment, it's you who decides what is your true emotion or true feeling inside that you desire. This is always said. Not everybody wants to travel all the time around the world. Other people being home, finding their loved ones, or be with them is more important than being around. We deliver these systems that you are the captain. Do you really want to go to New York to see if you fly? Or do you decide, I want to see my whatever, or I want to be wherever? It's not all just traveling. And this is why we keep on putting it in a very mild way. You are the captain. Is your wish to see the ones you want to see? And is that wish is so sincere and in depth? You will do. We have had this experience in our own structure of Keshe Foundation with the people who have been working or being in touch with the technology in one way or another. So, will it create that condition? Is you who decides. And in a way, what I was explaining to a group past recent, it's like you park a plane in an airport. You do not know who the company will send to pilot it. And the pilot flies A to B, and at position B, another pilot takes over and he goes to another destination. This time, instead of flying from destination to destination, we have parked the plane, which is the enhancement unit flight system. Is you now traveling? And it's the beauty of it. You want to travel within the soul. You want to travel within the structure of your body. You got a cancer. You want to see what's the reason, how it can be. You want to have a meeting with your brother you haven't seen for years in New York, or you want to see your somebody who passed away in past 20, 30 or 2 weeks ago, because you didn't finish talking, you didn't finish to solve the problems that you still want to complete. You are the captain, not us. We just provide the aircraft. You take it to the destination you like. And what the system do, you have to see what they expect from it. That's why we don't interfere. But the cycle of interaction is so rapid that we don't think you need more than 20 minutes, half an hour maximum, because a lot of you will be totally exhausted going through this process. Even we give you a chance for two sessions, two systems at the same time, one after another. So you're the captain. What do you do? You decide. And with sincerity, go into the system to get to see or to be with what you like. Do you want to translate?
Ad, heb jij het begrepen dat Mr. Keshe zegt dus dat, maar ik denk dat je begrepen hebt wat hij gezegd heeft. Is dat zo?
Jawel, ik heb het wel begrepen. Ik begrijp het ook wel, maar waar ik op het punt momenteel zit is in 2014, toen had ik eigenlijk geen bijzondere wens, maar die kwam dus wel omdat het waarschijnlijk in mijn ziel dus heel erg aansprak. En we hadden dus de laatste weken, ik heb het zelf ook al verschillende keren bij de workshops, de Nederlandse workshop uitgelegd. Hoe moet je zeggen, de herinnering, maar het was geen herinnering, want mijn dochtertje was gestorven toen ze een maand of 3, 4 was. Maar toen in 2014 met die 129 Tesla was het een jong volwassen vrouw. En ik wist gewoon dat ze het was.
Ja.
Dus het universum creëert eigenlijk jouw eigen wens. Ik wist niet dat het mijn wens was, want meneer Keshe had gezegd van make your wish. En mijn wens was toen van, nou, ik wil wel zien dat die sterrenformation sterker wordt. En toen kwam die 129 Tesla. Ik had op dat moment dat het daar zit, had ik daar geen connectie mee, maar naar de rand ga erover denken en ga het ook inzien. Nou, ik heb hetzelfde meegemaakt met het proces met mijn vrouw met de kanker en dat die mixwatergans maakte. En dan voelde die, niet hoe moeten zeggen betrokkenheid niet, maar die verwantschap die voelde. En ik heb het naar de rand bij anderen ook gedaan. En het gekke is van afstand doet er niet toe. Als eenmaal die connectie hebt, en dat is het nou net, dan gaat je niet verloren.
Ja.
Maar ja, je weet wat er met mijn vrouw gebeurd is.
Ja, maar wat is jouw wens? Daar gaat het, Mr. Keshe, om.
Nou,
jij kan wensen wat je wil.
Nou, dat was dus de vraag van, doet het systeem eigenlijk hetzelfde als wat er toen met die 129 Tesla gebeurde? Want ik kan mijn vrouw momenteel nog heel makkelijk bereiken. Op zielsniveau.
Ja.
Maar daar houdt er wel in dat ik een beetje afgesloten ben van de verderheid. Dus de verbinding met de buitenwereld en de fysieke wereld, die gaat een deel verloren. Dus je moet ook oppassen waar je wens is.
Dan kan jij toch voor zorgen dat die verbinding met de buitenwereld, als je dat wil, dat die weer hersteld kan worden.
Maar daar zal ik aan moeten werken, omdat de verbinding, de zielsverbinding met mijn vrouw nog heel sterk is.
Ja, maar dat hoeft toch elkaar niet tegen te spreken?
Nee, maar dat doe ik op het moment wel. En dan is dus de vraag van, wat kan die unit doen? En,
can you repeat your question to Mr. Keshe so that he can understand what is the essence of your question? Should I try?
Ja, doe maar.
Okay. Ad asks that he is a bit confused because his connection with his wife that recently died is still strong, but some other connections are weakening. So would that be a danger that also his connection with his former wife with his wife that is deceased would get weaker, as I understand. Is that a bit what I understand from your question?
I still don't understand what you're asking.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's the question. If the unit, what I experienced with my little girl, and I know that my wife, I still can have a good connection, but the result is that the outside world, the physical world, is getting weaker. So if my body needs to be strengthened, sterker moet worden.
Yes, strengthened, yes.
How can I do it without losing the control of my soul? There is a blockage in the connection between my soul and my physical soul. So can the units help there?
I can't tell you yes, and I can't tell you no.
Yeah, okay, I thought so.
It is the expectation you have. And we, as I said, we don't interfere and we don't promise. That's why we tell you, you're the captain, you decide. And it's you who has to make that decision in what dimension and what strength of who and where you want to be or to meet. I went through this during the trials with one of our test cases. The desire was so much to meet with the child who would passed away, and the desire, the way it was put by the father going into the system, override the whole structure of what we set to do. And the father could not reach to the point he wanted, but later on he realized what happened to him. We cannot push anything with this technology. It's you who takes the technology to create new dimensions for it. And we are not here promoting, to advertise, to sell something. We are here to gather information, perfect the system, that every man gets what they need within the system. We test to see how much you got right in that system. If you went in, you had such a desire for such a thing before you go in, and then you come out and you say, okay, I achieved half of it or part of it, then we see what we missed on the other half, what we need to adjust, what we need to add, that it fits most of your wishes. And the same with the other person. But a lot of people come to the foundation expecting with these systems to get what they want. And there is no guarantee that we can give you what you want. Because you speak something, but your soul and your soul of physicality want something else. And this is where the whole discussion comes into what we call, on the arena of discussions with us, what is your expectation? What you really, really want. And the mouth speaks something else, and the soul of physicality wants something else, and the soul of the man is totally 180 degrees opposite to the both of them. I've seen this happening in the enhancement units. We Maybe some of you know the person I'm talking about. You're Dutch. We had a lady who was wheelchair bound and came from Holland to Nino. She had a very serious condition. Within the first 2-3 months, actually first 2 months, she started walking off the wheelchair. She started living. 2-3 months later, I had a call from the husband that you're a crook, you're a charlatan, she's back on the wheelchair. And that was all a show. I said, bring her back to me, let me see, because the system cannot be played with. The husband and wife, they came to the Nino office. And I said to him, can you go outside? I want to speak directly to your wife. And I said, what happened? You start walking. This technology doesn't go backwards. She stood up off the wheelchair and she started walking. I said, what the heck is going on? She said, the minute I walk, he rapes me violently. I prefer to be in a wheelchair until your technology is not working. It is extremely one of the very rich, powerful men in Holland he is. She said, I'll survive in this wheelchair for years to come. I don't have MS anymore. But I will not walk, that I get raped. And I asked the guy to come back in. I said, I think we can't do anything for you. Maybe our technology is wrong. And the foundation returns whatever you have paid for building up the systems. He said, no, I don't need it. It's just that you talk too much. It doesn't work. And as he was pushing the wheelchair out, she gave me a twink by the eye. Thank you very much. He was so rich and arrogant. She wanted this woman back on work. He actually built a special swimming pool in the living room for her to swim, that he watches that when she comes out of the pool, he can rape her. Technology works, but what do we expect from it? And what is the limit we want to go with it? I ran a surgery in north of Holland for nearly 2 years. Canal in the north. And we had a woman the same. Walked in, stood for sometimes she couldn't breathe, to cross the room to get to sit with us, took her another 10 minutes. And she had she couldn't breathe. And I said to her, you can be helped. She said, I've been like this a long time. They changed the house downstairs, they put a bed now, and I live in the garage. They changed it to a bathroom and everything else. I can't go up. I finished, and I cannot even walk. And she was breathing very heavy. The husband came because he brought her, and the son. I said, you'll be perfect. Just give me a chance to build systems for it that it can work. And less than a couple of months later, I met this lady mid-summertime, July, August. She started changing. And for Christmas, she decorated the village church. She did everything for the church, for thanking that she could do. She used to go biking around the canals. And she asked me to come home on the way back going to Belgium. There's something I want to tell you. And I went home. I still see the son in his mid-30s sitting on the stool in the kitchen. The father was sitting on the floor and she was sitting on the chair. And the husband said, both my son and I, we want to apologize. We have never had our mother or wife like this for years. She's living and we enjoy her life with us. And she never went back. It's what we expect from the technology. I have beautiful memories from Holland. I spent a lot of time as Dutch people. You know, I spend giving lectures nearly every week, every 2 weeks, somewhere in Holland.
Yes, I was in two of them. I remember.
Yeah. But again, it's the expectation. You know, my secretaries all were Dutch. Keshe Foundation, my personal secretaries, they were both Dutch for years. They used to come all the way from Holland to Belgium on Thursdays and Tuesdays.
Well, I know what the technology can do. First of all, with 129, and with the process with my wife, who the doctor said only 3 months, we could stretch it to 5 years. But the result was that again, here we go, my MS get very big, and now I'm in the wheelchair. So
MS is reversible.
yes, I know, but
The lady
I can't find the energy to do a lot of things, and well, let's say if I would come to the unit for whatever reason, there's one thing that I'm a little afraid of, that I step in and I won't step out anymore. But I also have 2 other children and grandchildren, so my physical soul don't want that, but my soul, I don't know which soul to trust.
We don't give medical advice. We don't tell you to come to do or what not to do. It depends on what you like to do. As you know, we have had a very good close connection with Philips International for a long time. And as I've said to our top management team a few times, once we complete the applications on the health side, I go back home. I go back to Philips. It's where my roots come from. And there is no better place than Philips International to bring the medical application of this technology out.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something which I have in mind. I feel comfortable with Philips because I was born and bred through the Philips structure. And I know what they do. I know the details of the company. And I see it that diseases like MS are solvable. Diseases like ILS are solvable. Diseases like cancer are solvable. But instead of Keshe Foundation going through a whole rigmarole of doing it, it's better to do it in conjunction with Philips, where we give them the intellectual rights to use, and the benefit goes in conjunction with the Keshe Foundation to expand. But this is in the long run. We have to complete what we are doing now where we actually go into the dimension where going Phillips will never catch up, especially with these new units we are putting out. You don't need international organization. We just need to place these things around the world and people just go into it. These are not medical systems. These are space technology, and in a space you always stay healthy. And this is what is the background to the whole work of the Keshe Foundation. In a space to be healthy, and don't spend 10,000 light years on the way and 20,000 light years away. And as they tell us, this star is 150,000 light years away, 120 light years away. Every star you see is reachable the instant you see it. If you want to go with a new technology, understanding it. Zero time. It's the same with the health. What you want to do is totally different. What you achieve with it is totally different.
Well, I know about zero time, but like I said, the choice is, I'm afraid that the choice that I made would make in the system could be the wrong one. Maybe not for me, but for my children and my grandchildren. See? And I want to be there for them. So it's, I know my MS is because of the conditions that have appeared with, I can say after 129, I was happy, but the fields changed, and I don't know if the last attack of the MS, that the fields did change so much that it's not, maybe, I don't know, it's not reversible for my physical soul to do so. And it's all of the intent of the soul, so it's hard to make decisions right now. But I understand the technology, I understand the process, but even so, I don't trust, well, or my soul, or my physical soul. There's a breach in the communication between these two. So, yeah, it's hard to say what to do. But yes, I know zero time communication. I've had it. Now I lost it for a while with the outside world, not with my wife or my child or my deceased daughter. But that's very easy to do for me, but it's, yeah, the unit. What's the wish? I don't know if the wish can be for the physical soul to maintain for a while, or the soul and to travel into the universe.
But Ed, hello, this is Galip from Holland.
Yeah.
Today, Sir Keshe told us about that the system is like a bungee jumping machine. So we can always maybe throw you back, but don't hold me on it.
I would like to pose a question. Is that possible?
Yeah.
That's why we are here.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I would like to know how it works in the life enhancement unit. I understood it depends on your wish, and when your wish is sincere and that is important. But how can I imagine it when I have I wish some healing? Is the healing taking place immediately, or do you have to wait sometimes after the session, or how does it work?
The body enhancement unit, not talking about a space system, works totally different way.
Yeah.
The process sets, especially like for health, what we call wellness centers we set up, is that we allocate 14-week sessions. We have done this on a specific reason. 14 weeks is that by entering the system and using the combination of facilities which goes with the system, it's not seen in the West. In China, when we use the enhancement units, we provide a box. It's about 40, 50 centimeters by, it's like a double shoebox, maybe a little bit bigger, maybe triple shoebox. And in this shoebox is the materials which need to be used in conjunction with a system as a health unit. This was a brainchild of the Chinese military officers that we presented, and we made hundreds of these. He has in it the clothing which is befitting certain diseases, the water system, the breathing system, and other things which goes with the enhancement unit. When you are accepted to go through the process, you're given this box as a gift or as part of going with the system. And what we have seen over the trials is that we work in a very specific way. Always with me, there is an academician, which academician is one of the experts of the Chinese military, two-star general. He's always monitoring the work. And wherever I work, in the panels of the hospitals, is my picture and his picture next to each other. We are known as two academicians of the Chinese, what do you call it, the structure. And in that process, we set up the system and the Chinese monitor the system. Where we see in the first 2 or 3 weeks, the effect of using the system in conjunction with the materials which we provide for the specific conditions. And then after the 3rd week, whatever, the doctors, it's usually 2 or 3 doctors which monitor the process, and all of them are academicians. We start deciding on the process of the medication. Usually people who were chosen for the trials sometimes use 10, 15, 20 different tablets a day,
with different effects. And from the third week, the doctors, with our recommendation, we start reducing in a specific way the medication. And this process goes up to about 6 weeks more, around about 9-10 weeks. But you're still using the system, you still use what we call the gift box material. And we usually, by about 10th week, come to the point of no medication.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last 4 weeks, the last month, is the observation of what is needed to be put back in, what is needed to be taken out. And usually the people they choose end up with no medication and certain type of recovery. And this is what, because by the experience we run this nearly 2 years in China, on the supervision of the military, we gathered a very good experience of how enhancement units for flight, how enhancement units for health, or what we call wellness, and conjunction with it, material is used. So when you come to the health application or wellness application, we follow a well-established procedure now, which we have reached in working with the Chinese military.
Mm-hmm.
I established this process before some 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Now, with the support of the enhancement units and what we call the backups, we see a much more rapid development, and we see eradication of many conditions. As I said, we shipped six of these units some 3-4 years ago into China in a specific order by Chinese military. And they're all manufactured in Austria. And when we put these into operation with an enhancement unit, you get a different ball game, much more in-depth interaction.
Mm-hmm.
But you cannot do it less than 14 weeks.
Sure.
But it has to be done by the doctors. We don't get involved. We are produced, as I say, Philips manufactured X-ray machine, but Philips doesn't go in the hospital and run the X-ray machines. We are in that level. We have a certificate from Naturopathic Society of Belgium to produce these systems and to show and deliver to people who have the condition with the doctor's knowledge to do it. This is something which never came out. They wouldn't allow Naturopathic certificate that the Keshe Foundation technology can be used to be shown in the court. Naturopathic paid $250,000 extra per year to bring Keshe Foundation into the licensing organization. These all were hidden in the court. We have a certificate to operate under the structure which the Belgian government has set up to deliver technologies in the form of the systems and advise doctors or people who are with the doctors to use it. So, health applications we keep away, but with it, hundreds of thousands of people are suffering because of, as you know, the greed of your guidance, such border of yours. And we have a vast knowledge in what we call wellness application of technology. The only pity is that the knowledge has not been shared the way we wanted to share it. Now through enhancement unit and now through what we call flight units, we move from the physical repair into the soul repair, which makes the physical repair much easier. And at the moment, there is no certification, there is no law in how, if you, by elevating your soul, you can change your physical structure. Because that part goes to the church. You go to church for miracle, you go to Keshe for reality. But we use the same soul. We know the real thing, they fake it. So,
yeah.
It's very easy to understand what's going on.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. Fried, kan jij dat laatste, can you translate the last sentences? I didn't understand. Fried?
Ja, het ging erom dat Keshe Foundation, die weet van de wetenschap, maar ze mogen niks over de ziel, want dat is het domein van de kerk.
Ja, ja.
Dat heeft de kerk geclaimd voor zich. Dus ze mogen wel in de wetenschap iets doen, maar met de ziel, daar moeten ze afblijven. Zo een beetje in die richting heb ik het begrepen.
Ja, ja. Oké. En die 6 juni, dat gaat alleen over de flight unit, niet over de enhancement.
Zowel als ook, maar dat is, ze hebben verschillende dingen. En hij zegt dat die enhancement units, die wordt vermoedelijk dan op een bepaald moment door Philips gebouwd.
Ja,
Philips Medical is een van de vooraanstaande wereldwijde organisaties, meest vooraanstaande organisaties op medisch gebied. En hij zegt, ik heb heel goede connecties met Philips, dus dat gaat Philips doen. Dus dat klopt dan helemaal.
Ja, maar is er dan nog niet? Ze bestaan toch nog
niet? Ze zijn nog niet zo ver.
Oh, nou, dat was mijn vraag.
Voor de massaproductie,
nee.
de Health Enhancement Unit is nog niet zo ver.
Oké, dankjewel. En ja, thank you very much, Mr. Keshe, for your answers. Ja.
I see a question from Ines Baran. Are you present? Do you want to ask the question yourself?
Yeah, sure thing. So, hi, Mr. Keshe. I had a question regarding the flight unit experience simulation on June 6th. I'm really excited to be going there with the permission of God, of course. And I don't want to be anxious, but I am quite a bit anxious. And
you registered?
Sorry?
Have you registered?
Yeah, I have registered. I'm one of the first 10 people to enter.
Have you received the email of invitation?
My friend Galip has organized everything.
Oh, yeah, I understand, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He invited me, so...
Yeah. So we know who we...
Yeah. And my question, I hope the answer will decrease my anxiety quite a bit. And my question was, is it possible to be so unprepared for the simulation?
Everybody is.
Sorry?
Even people who thought are prepared, when they come to us, they're unprepared.
Okay.
So don't worry about it.
All right, that's a perfect answer then. Thank you.
But it's not the answer, it's a reality. I've seen people who come to the system, and when they get in the system, they're so overwhelmed by what is about to happen to them that they don't allow the system to interact with them. It's just that come with a joy and see what's the outcome and what you really want to do. There's just been some reorganization because the Germans and the others moving and shifting so many people into this program. Today we moved a bunch of the Germans out into the following week because they're literally taking over a lot of slots which we have in there. And on Monday when you arrive, even though it's a holiday in Europe, in Austria, it's a national holiday. It's very good for us. We changed the system by moving things around to spend about 4 or 5 hours, and we reduced the numbers for the first day by quite a lot, that we can learn a lot of things. And you three are part of that. And we have 2 other people we kept, and some decisions we made if we're going to add people to, because we want to see a lot of things. We might give you a chance to go through the system twice. It all depends what and how it takes shape. But don't come in with preset mind. Come in with joy and with a decision, clear decision, what you want to do in each system. You have 2 systems you go through, and the first test we have allocated an hour and a half to with the first person, and we have brought this person especially to be the first person going through the trial. And then I think we have other person who's come all the way. He's going to camp outside. We told him not to move somewhere else. And you 3 and maybe 1 or 2 more. We don't want to have just because we can get that. It's just that first day we want to see the maximum operational capabilities. Mm-hmm. And then we'll see what comes up. Come with a wish, come with understanding what you want, but don't come with anxiety, because we've seen it happen in the test in Vienna. And you run into, what do you call it, blockage.
All right, I'll try to be not anxious and have a wish.
You have 2 opportunities to fly. You move from one system to the next one. They're both kept in the same room. We do that especially for field protection and the rest of it. And then you have the, what do you call it? I call it debriefing. And then see what you come out with and what joys you carry. And did you get any joy from doing it, or you would like to go back to, if we have time? I know exactly what I want to do with you 3 on Monday. But you don't start before 12 o'clock.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I have a question. That is about my dear friend and me. We think about going together in the unit. How does this go? Do we go together?
You can decide.
In the same moment?
We have 2 seats in each system.
Ah, I see.
You can decide if you want to go alone or you want to go together. And we have 2 set system, a structure for people to go, to accommodate the 2 that they can go together. It's a very specific way, and we just want to check what we've done is correct in how to prepare to go in and how to prepare when you come out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we will apply very soon.
I'll leave it with you. But enjoy the experience. And then with it, we learn a lot with all of you because we literally need your imprint in the system to be added up.
Right.
Thank you very much. If there's no more questions, it's a little bit late for me. I've been going on since early this morning, non-stop. Thank you very much for having me. And I hope we see you some on Monday and some in the very near time.
Can I have a very short question?
Yes.
This is Galip again. I've been trying to bring others with me, and my question is, how can I prevent, for example, when I bring my counsel with me from school, I'm on the soul journey, how can I prevent them from changing my internal balance? Or is this question not even?
It's not even our consideration.
Yeah, I get it. Okay.
If you bring anybody with you, you have to register and everything else. We don't allow people just to come in, just they want to see things. Now we split the floor of the exhibition in 2 floors. Downstairs is for flight only. Nobody is allowed to come down because we control it through lift system. And upstairs is for people who come to see the exhibition. And the 2 run together. So don't bring somebody and you think you expect them to be, they will not be allowed in. We can't do this.
Your answer is very accurate, because my question was about also bringing someone as a 4th person physically, but also when I'm trying to do soul travel, for example, from home here, that I notice that the emotions of others also affect me when I do this.
Of course it does. You cannot intrude.
Yeah, I have to ask.
Yeah. If you ask and you're given, it's your right. Thank you very much indeed. And hopefully we meet very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much as well.
Thank you very much, Mr. Keshe.
Thank you very much. Yes. Wonderful meeting with a lot of people, first time. Thank you everyone who is present here. And we can go on with questions, because